the idea of success in art is it's tough because I come at it at a different in a different way. I feel like some of my best work is personally my best work because I see something in it that expresses something I was trying to portray clearly. But that doesn't mean that other people are going to look at that same piece that I value so much and see what I see in it. When we talk about success financially, that's different for me because I've never really believed that to be a successful artist you have to be successful financially. Most artists I've ever read about have always struggled, down to the bones, to do their art, to become, successful in the sense that they're paying their bills, they're getting shows and stuff like that. But I don't really believe I don't believe if you're an artist you have to achieve that to be successful. I really feel like if you have this gnawing vision in your head that you have to see visualized, if you pull it off, then you're a success.
Well, everybody would like to sell more art, but I feel like I've carved out a little niche for me, combining framing, so that's the more practical side of art. You have to have a way to present it, along with carving out time for myself to be able to paint things that make me happy.
The Entrepreneurial Art Studio is a learning studio mostly focused on children, where we can put them in an environment with art materials and art instruction that allows them to reach their creative potential. I'm successful in art because I get to do what I love in art, and everything that I do revolves around art, and I get to be collaborating with other artists, and I actually make an income I can live on. But somebody else, it might be like my friend Barbara German, who sells wet paintings. We kid because she's always so busy and so many people hire her, but she's doing what she loves. So I think she's really successful.
When I said if I sold my first painting, that was my first goal, was to sell a painting. And I did a painting, and it took me about 3 months to do it, and it took me another 2 months to get the courage to take it to a gallery, and they accepted it, and within a period of 6 months they had sold it. So that was the first, I guess, level of success for me, was to do that. And then the next thing I did was enter shows to see if I could win some prizes and get something to put on my Vita sheet that I had done. And then I did that a few times, and then it was to have a solo show in a gallery, and I've done that. So it's a moving target. But ultimately the goal would be to say, well, if I wanted to, could I provide a living for myself just with my art? And I like the first 6 years, I doubled the income from art, but the first year was like $800, so doubling it didn't matter much. I just got to buy more supplies. But I've doubled it for 6 years, and in the 7th year, I'm not sure if I'll double or not, but I think it's a 10-year road for somebody, unless somebody just discovers them and they're off to New York or Chicago or Los Angeles some way. And the other thing is that most artists aren't prepared for the business side of what they're doing. I was lucky to have had some marketing experience and know some things that makes it easier, but most artists don't sign up they sign up to paint and create pretty pictures, and then the whole business side is something they try to avoid. But you need to spend 60 or 70% of your time marketing your stuff if you're going to make a living at it. So, and that's not what most artists want to do.
I have no business experience. I have lots of mentors. I'm a bookkeeper. I started this business from the ground up about 16 years ago. I was an art teacher for 5 years in a public school, and I loved teaching. I loved teaching those kids, but the other things at the public school level, the other things got in the way from just being a great teacher. So I left, and I started teaching out of my house. And 3 years ago, I moved out of my garage and moved downtown. After my oldest one was old enough to go to school, I just said, I'm moving out. So once I came downtown, like everything exploded. And so, it's more than paying my rent now. It's an actual lucrative business. But it took me a long time to get here. It's more of my business is more of a grassroots startup that I didn't have to worry about any startup costs because I was working out of my house a few hours a day. So it's a nice way for a business to grow. And these are not my words. I heard somebody say it on, I don't know, one of those videos that makes you want to go out and change the world, that said, do what you love, become the best at it, and people will come to you. And then once you figure out how to be the best at that, find somebody that knows how to do the rest, like me, with the help of the business. Yeah, you just got to surround yourself with people that can lead you the right way.
No business experience. Barbara had some experience. She worked for years for the city of Bryan, and prior to that, county attorney in the Conroe area and things. So she had experience in things like bookkeeping and QuickBooks and some of the things like that. I had experience more on the other levels of creating budgets. Because I was a researcher, I created my own proposals, wrote my own grant and contract proposals, and created my own budgets. So I had experience and also in the military. I did budgeting and things like that. So that part of the job, keeping track of inventories and this type of stuff, I've had experience in. So we both had unique experiences that we brought to, but a lot of it was learn as we go too.
It's funny because when we talk about business nowadays, I really think that business is common sense, and I feel like when we ask questions like that, or do you have any experience with business, it's kind of a result of our age where people don't have much common sense. It's like, I don't mean that disparagingly, but when people ask me if I know how to do promotion, or I know what a good website should look like, as far as like quality control, then they ask, how do I, keep everything consistent and have follow through, my answer is basically like, I just do it. Shouldn't everybody just do it? I mean, that's what business sense is. I mean, if you're talking about high academic business, you're getting into finance, stuff like that. No, I don't know anything about, Wall Street business. But when it comes to like feet on the ground, promoting my work, getting my work out there, I really just feel like it's common sense. And I think more people have it than they assume. I feel like everyone, in the last 10 years, we've had this large discussion about branding ourselves. Everybody on social media is very conscious of how they're presenting themselves. So everybody already has this business sense. I think you get successful from that business sense by keeping the quality of what you do at such a high level. You really have to be your own worst enemy, your worst critic, and really push yourself. And that's where the success comes in, if it ever does.
Or if money means success for you, don't make art your full-time job. If there are other things that mean success for you, and happiness, and contentment, those kinds of things, then I say go for it.